Good day, I'm Dr. T and welcome to my office. So today I'd like to talk a little bit about flipped classrooms. This is kind of all the buzz, or has been for like the last 10, 15 years. And kind of the hype and kind of the meme level, it's gotten pretty hardcore of like, flip the classroom, it's gonna be a better educational experience, you're gonna be doing more. And I kind of want to put a little bit of a lid on the meme. Let's take a step back from the meme and actually think what we're doing. Okay, so just in case you haven't heard the kind of standard flipped narrative, which actually has died down in the last few years, thankfully. The idea of a flipped classroom is, if you think of a traditional class, the students come in, you lecture, they go home, maybe they do some homework, they come in, you lecture, go home, come in, you get the idea, eventually take a few tests, etc. The idea of a flipped classroom is, let's take what they normally do at home and bring it into the classroom, and take what they normally do in the classroom and send it home. So kind of the classic kind of default way is record a bunch of videos, post those on the internet, and that way you're not lecturing in class, they're watching the lectures online. Because frankly, if they're just listening to you stand up there and talk, why does it need to be live? Now, flipped teaching, when done right, is a means to an end, not an end in itself. Simply flipping your class is not going to make things better. You need to do something with that time in class. So if you're thinking about flipping your class, what you really need to be asking yourself is, why? Why do you want to flip the class? What are you going to do with the class time that is going to be more value? It's going to create a value add to that course that you cannot do with a traditional class. For instance, maybe you decide to use some form of active learning, a POGIL or the like. In that case, you kind of need groups for the POGIL, process-oriented guided inquiry learning. And it really helps if they're there with you in person. So you can answer questions, do small stops, etc. Now, if you're spending all your time in lecture, that's going to be hard to do. They can't do that as homework. At least not real well. You can, but it doesn't work great. So, hey, I want to do POGIL. I'm going to flip my class. That might be a good approach to doing so. Now, do you need to do a full flip? Maybe you want to still keep some of the traditional class style, still do a lecture for part of the time, but maybe keep your lecture particularly short, only hit the high points, and then have the students watch the videos or do whatever other learning activity at home. Does not have to be videos. Videos is kind of like the default. It does not have to be videos. Okay, so that's one approach. Maybe you have a very heavy math background. You want to spend a lot of your time in class working problems. It works great in chemistry. Hey, we've got a ton of math going on. Math is one of those things, it's a skill you got to practice. Okay, that's a great reason. Send some of the lecture to outside of class, keeping in mind that a non-trivial number of your students are just not going to watch the lecture videos or do the learning activities that you're doing, whatever it happens to be with your flip, because, they won't. People are people. People can be a bit lazy. Sorry. But maybe that's an approach you want to take. That works well. That's a reasonable goal. Do you want to flip the class because it's the hot new thing and your boss has said you should flip your class because it's going to look good on your faculty evaluation? That's not a good reason. You're not gaining anything. What is the value add? Please don't flip just to flip. That's not gaining anything. You're really just kind of making things more complicated, and you're probably going to end up with a worse class than you are had you not flipped. So with that said, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in later videos.